What if I told you that right now, while you're watching this video, one of your competitors might be showing up 3 or 4, even 5 times in Google Maps when homeowners search for contractors in your area? Meanwhile, you're stuck with just one listing, fighting for scraps while they're dominating the entire first page. Here's the crazy part. According to a comprehensive research report on Google Business Profile spam and home services, a recent audit found that 13 of the 20 Google search results in New York had fake addresses. That means real, honest contractors like you are getting completely pushed out of the game. I'm going to show you exactly how this multiple Google's business profile strategy works, break down the real pros and cons about what every contractor needs to understand, and give you the honest truth about what could happen to your business, both the potential gains and the devastating risks. By the end of this video, you'll know the truth about this controversial tactic and have a clear action plan for your business. But first, if you're serious about growing your contracting business and want strategies that actually work, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. We'll drop new contractor marketing strategies every week that can transform your lead flow. Here's what's really happening in your local market right now, and it's worse than you think. You know that feeling when you search for contractors in your area and see companies you never heard of ranking above you? Companies that seem to be local to every city in a 50-mile radius. Well, there's a reason for that. Those businesses are creating multiple Google business profiles, sometimes 5 to 10 or even 20 listings, all funneling to the same company. They're using virtual offices, fake addresses, and clever phone routing to make it look like they have offices everywhere. Think about it like this. Imagine you're playing poker, but your opponent gets to see 5 hands while you only get 1. That's what's happening in local search right now. While you're playing by the rules with one listing, they're stacking the deck. When someone searches roofer near me or HVAC repair, guess who's showing up 3 times in the top 5 results? And here's the kicker, it's working. Businesses using this strategy are seeing up to 240% increase in phone calls, domination of the Google 3-pack, higher lead volume across multiple cities. But before you think this is a magic bullet, let me tell you what happened to contractors who got caught. Alright, let's break this down completely. I'm going to give you the full playbook, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you can make an informed decision for your business. How the multiple GMB strategy actually works. First, let me show you exactly how this is done, right? Step 1, the address game. They get unique addresses for each listing, virtual offices, co-working spaces, even residential addresses. Each Google business profile needs a different address to verify. Step 2, unique phone numbers. Every listing gets its own phone number, using for call tracking services. All the numbers forward to the same office, but Google sees them as separate businesses. Step 3, they have account separations. They use different Google accounts, different IP addresses, sometimes even different websites to make each listing look completely independent. Step 4, local optimization. Each profile gets a slightly different business name, like Mike's Plumbing Dallas and Mike's Plumbing Fort Worth, targeting specific cities. Now, I have to be honest with you. When this works, the results can be incredible. Some contractors report 300% increases in lead volume. They can literally own entire zip codes and search results. Each listing acts like a separate lead generation machine. One California plumbing company used legitimate multiple locations and saw a 240% increase in organic calls within 90 days. But here's the key word, it was legitimate. Now let's talk about the dark side, what they don't tell you about this strategy. Google is getting smarter. In March 2025, Google filed a lawsuit against a network that created over 10,000 fake listings. They're using AI to detect patterns, cross-referencing addresses, and when they catch you, it's game over. I'm talking about mass suspensions. One day you're getting 50 calls a week, the next day your entire Google online presence vanishes. Gone. All your reviews, all your rankings, everything. And here's the worst part. It's not just your fake listings that just get suspended. Google can flag your entire business too if you think you're a spammer. Now let's talk about the white hat alternative that actually works. But here's the good news. There is a legitimate way to expand your local reach without risking everything. It's called a true multi-location expansion with physical offices. If you're serious about covering multiple cities legitimately, here's the white hat way to do it. Open real offices with real staff. And I wanted to be clear on this. This doesn't mean you need some massive corporate headquarters. You can get a legitimate physical space for as little as $500 per month in many markets. But before you run out and rent that first office space you find, let me walk you through the exact step-by-step process, because expanding to the wrong area can cost you thousands in wasted rent and lost opportunities. Alright, let's go with step 1. Step 1, the review volume assessment. Here's something critical that most contractors miss. Only pursue multiple locations if you have the review volume to support them. If you're currently struggling to get reviews for your main location, adding a second location will dilute your efforts. You have 2 Google business profiles with weak review counts. Instead of one strong profile with tons of reviews, think about it. Would you rather have one listing with 100 5-star reviews or 2 listings with 25 reviews each? The single listing with 150 reviews will crush both weaker profiles in rankings. Now let's talk about the review volume test. Before expanding, ask yourself, can I consistently generate at least 4 to 6 reviews per month across multiple locations? If not, then master one location first. Now, step 2, demographics. Research using AI. Use this prompt in ChatGPT or Claude to analyze potential markets. I'm a prompt below. Your service contractor looking to expand in city name. Please analyze the demographic data for this area and tell me if it's a good market for contractors. Specifically, 1. Need. Home ownership rate versus rental rate. 2. Median household income levels. 3. Average home age and construction periods. 4. Percentage of family households with children. 5. Population with growth trends over the last 5 years. And 6. Your assessment of whether this market would be visible for a contractor business. We look for areas with high home ownership rates, household incomes above $50K, and homes built for 10 plus years. But here's the key. Don't just look into citywide data. Dig deeper into specific neighborhoods within that city. Use this follow-up prompt. Please break down the demographics by zip code or neighborhoods within city name. Which specific areas have the highest homeownership rates, income levels, and concentration of homes built between year, whatever range you want to rank. Rank the top 3 to 5 neighborhoods that would be best for a contractor business and explain why. Now let's talk about the strategic office placement. Once you have this neighborhood level data, you want to place your physical office strategically. Here are the things you should look for. First, the sweet spot. Essential location that can serve 2 to 3 high value neighborhoods. Now, let's talk about the visibility factor. Areas with street visibility and foot traffic. The accessibility, right? Easy access for major roads serving your target neighborhoods. Growth corridors. Neighborhoods showing consistent population and income growth. For example, if the AI analysis shows that zip codes 12345 and 12346 and 12347 are your ideal markets, find an off location that's centrally positioned to serve all 3 areas within a 10 to 15-minute drive. Now here's a pro tip. Sometimes the best office isn't in the wealthiest neighborhood. It's on the border between multiple target areas where rent is lower, but you can still serve your ideal customers. Now, step 3, population and economic analysis. Use this AI prompt for deeper market research. Now state, I'm a contractor considering expanding to city name, whatever city you're in. Please research the economic health of the market. First, the need, right? Current population size and growth. 2, new construction permit data from the last 2 to 3 years. 3, medium home values and recent sale trends. 4, local unemployment rate and major employers. 5, any major developments or infrastructure projects that are planned. 6, your recommendation on whether this is a growing market for home service contractors. Now, here's where it gets strategic. Different trades should look for different economic indicators in this data. I'll go over some examples now. First, for roofing contractors, focus on areas with severe weather patterns and older homes. Look for high home ownership rates in areas with homes built last 15 to 30 years when roofs need replacement. Look for a recent storm damage history or high wind hail zones. Rising home values. Homeowners more likely to invest in roof upgrades. New construction permits dropping off, and many more focus on existing home maintenance. Use a specialized prompt. What's the weather history for city name over the last 5 years? Any major storms, hail events, or weather patterns that commonly damage roofs. Also, what percentage of homes were built between 1990 and 2010? For HVAC contractors, look for climate extremes and energy efficiency trends. Population growth. New residents need HVAC installations and maintenance. Look for extreme summer winter temperatures, higher HVAC usage, and replacement needs. The home age between 10 and 20 years, when HVAC systems typically need replacement. Rising energy costs or new efficiency incentives. Here's an HVAC specific prompt you can use. What are the average summer and winter temperatures in city name? Are there any local utility rebates or energy efficiency programs? What's your typical age of HVAC systems and homes built in 1990s or 2010s in this area? For plumbing contractors, right, focus on infrastructure age and housing density. Older neighborhoods with original plumbing, 20-plus-year-old homes. Areas with hard water or known pipe material issues. High density housing. This means more service calls per square mile. Look for commercial development, restaurants, offices needing plumbing services. Here's a plumbing focused prompt that you can use. What's the water quality like in city name? Any known issues with hard water, old pipes, or municipal water problems? What percentage of homes were built before 2000 and likely have original plumbing, right? Look for economic health indicators. All trades should monitor. For example, population growth, right? A sweet spot is between 2 to 5 annual percent, right? Growth. Too fast means infrastructure can't keep up. Too slow means declining market. Permit data analysis. Declining new construction. More renovation equals more repair work. Steady new construction equals installation opportunities. Mixed development equals balanced market. Home value trends. Rising values indicate homeowners willing to invest in improvements. Look for 3 to 7% annual appreciation. Another sign you can look for is economic stability. Unemployment under 5% with diverse employers reduces customer payment risk. Here's your pro tip. The best markets for contractors often aren't the fastest growing cities. They're stable, mature markets with aging infrastructure and homeowners who have equity to spend on improvements. Step 4. Competition level assessment. Search for Google Maps for your service area in the target market, right? Check the top 3 competitors and note. Here's a review analysis. This is critical. 0 to 50 reviews, an easy opportunity, right? You can likely outrank them within 6 to 12 months. If your competitors have between 50 to 200 reviews, then moderate competition. Doable with consistent effort and good strategy. Now, 200 to 500 reviews, challenging but winnable. Expect 12 to 18 months to compete effectively. Now, 500 to 1,000 reviews, heavy competition. You need exceptional service and aggressive review generation. Now, 1,000 plus reviews, extremely difficult. Consider looking elsewhere unless you have a significant competitive advantage. Here's the reality. If the top competitor in your target area has over 1,000 reviews, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle for years. But if they're sitting at 200 to 300 reviews, that's absolutely doable. Here's some additional competitive factors you want to analyze. Look at star ratings and review recency, right? Are there recent reviews declining in quality? Profile completion, do they have professional photos? Complete business information, regular Google business posts. Service offerings and pricing, are there gaps in their services you could fill? Response to reviews, do they respond professionally to negative reviews? Here's a sweet spot for markets, right? Look for areas where the number 1 competitor has between 100 to 400 reviews. The number 2 has under 200 reviews, and the number 3 has under 100. This indicates an established but not dominant market we can realistically compete. Red flag markets. If all the top competitors have 500 plus reviews with a 4.8 star rating and complete profiles, that market is saturated. Move on to an easier opportunity. Now, let's talk about step 5, physical office setup. Find a legitimate office space that meets Google's requirements while staying budget conscious. Here's the key. Keep your overhead low. I wouldn't recommend spending more than $1,000 per month on office space for this strategy. In most markets, you can find suitable space for $400 to $700 per month. In an expensive market like California, you might hit between $800 to $1,200. But even then, look for the cheapest option that meets all requirements. Here's Google's non-negotiable requirements. First, physical address, right? No PO boxes or virtual offices. You have to have the ability to put up exterior business signage. This is crucial for verification. Space to receive customers during business hours. Parking for your work vehicle. Customers need to see you operate from there. Local phone number for that specific office. Here's a budget-friendly office options to consider, right? Small commercial suites in strip malls or business parks, shared office buildings with individual exterior accessible units, ground floor spaces in mixed-use buildings, former retail spaces, another one you can consider, that are converted to small offices, co-working spaces that allow permanent signage, and customer meetings? These are all things you can consider. Your goal is to find the cheapest possible space in the best demographic area you identified in step 2. Don't rent in the wealthy neighborhood. Rent on the border where it's cheaper, but you can still serve those high value areas with a 10 to 15 minute drive. Now, here's a financial reality check. At $600 per month plus setup costs, signage, phone line, utilities, you need roughly 4 to 5 additional jobs per month just to break even. If your average job profit is $150, that's $750 monthly to cover a $600 office. Make sure your target market can support the volume before signing any lease. Here's your pro tip. Look for spaces that include utilities or have flexible lease terms. Avoid long-term commitments until you can prove the market. Start with month-to-month or 6-month leases if possible. Step 6. Website page creation. Before creating your Google Business profile, build a dedicated landing page on your website for this location. Include city-specific content and keywords, local contact information, service area coverage for that office. Include testimonials from that region if you have available, photos of the new office location. Step 7. Google Business Profile creation and video verification. When you create the Google Business Profile, be prepared for video verification. Google now requires many listings to film your storefront and exterior signage, interior of the office space, work vehicles parked at the work location, you speaking on camera at the physical address. This verification process eliminates fake listings since you can't film what doesn't exist. Key success factors. Ensure Google Business Profile category matches your higher profit service. Link to the dedicated website page you created. Use consistent NAP, name, address, and phone numbers across all online directories. Have separate staff or clear service area boundaries for each location. You should start building reviews immediately for the new location. When done correctly, a legitimate second location can generate 50 to 100 plus additional leads per month while staying completely within Google's guidelines. Step 8, multi-trade strategy, right? This is more for advanced. Now here's where things get really strategic for multi-trade contractors. If you're a contractor who does roofing, HVAC, and plumbing, you need to understand this critical fact. Your Google Business Profile primary category is the #1 ranking factor for local search keywords. What this means is Google will only rank you prominently for searches related to your primary category. So if your primary category is roofing contractor, but someone searches for a plumber near me, you're essentially invisible, even if you offer plumbing services. The multi-trade dilemma, right? This is why some successful multi-trade contractors create separate Google Business Profiles for each major service line, but only when they have legitimate separate locations or can justify distinct business operations in the same area. Here's your strategic decision framework you should use. For new businesses under 75 reviews, focus on one trade and one location. Pick your highest profit service as your primary category and dominate that market first. Trying to rank for multiple trades when you're new will dilute your efforts and you'll lose to specialists. For established businesses, right, 75 plus reviews, strong cash flow, you might consider separate Google Business Profiles for different trades if you have separate physical offices for each service line, different staff specialized in each trade, separate phone systems and service vehicles, enough review generation capacity to support multiple profiles. Here's a reality check. If you offer roofing, HVAC, and plumbing from one location, Google's guidelines secondly only allow one profile. However, some large contractors operate divisions like ABC Roofing and ABC Plumbing with different locations, staff, and service areas. My recommendation, master one trade in one location first. Get 100 plus reviews. Dominate your local market, then expand strategically, either geographically or by service line, but never at the same time. Look, I get it. When you see competitors getting 5x the leads using this strategy, it's tempting, but here's my advice after helping hundreds of contractors grow their business. Don't risk your entire livelihood on a strategy that could disappear overnight. Instead, focus on becoming unbeatable in your core service. Get 100 5-star reviews, optimize your one listing perfectly, and dominate through quality and reputation. Then, when you're ready to expand, do it the right way, with the real locations or Google's own advertising platform. Here's what I want you to do right now. If you're currently using multiple fake Google Business Profile listings, it's time to clean house before Google does it for you. And if you're thinking about starting this strategy, don't. Instead, let's build you a bulletproof local marketing system that will generate consistent leads for years. not just until Google's next algorithm update. I want to personally help you create a local lead generation strategy that's both effective and sustainable. We've helped contractors increase their leads by 200 to 400% using completely white hat methods. Head over to contractormarketingpros.net right now and book a free strategy call. We'll analyze your current local presence, identify the biggest opportunities in your market, and create a custom roadmap for consistent lead growth. That's contractormarketingpros.net. The link is in the description below. And if this video helped you understand the truth about multiple Google business profile strategies, smash that like button and subscribe for more contractor marketing strategies that actually work. Remember, there are no shortcuts to building a business that lasts, but there are definitely smarter ways to grow. Let's find yours together. I'll see you in the strategy call, and I'll see you in the next video.